Let's talk about the most controversial combination of words in our modern age. A phrase that is so scary that millions of white men aren't bold enough to touch it, not even with a 100-foot pole. Simply talking about this idea is now banned from discussion on Facebook and soon other platforms. White
crime thing. You have been reported.
Am I even allowed to say it? Can I use this combination of two words in a sentence? I watch when this phrase is used to shut down debate, just like shouting racist. When said from one white person to another, it's unbelievable to watch them squirm like they caught some kind of a dirty disease, then deflecting and pointing at others. He's the witch. No, she's the witch. And when one has been labeled a WN, the earth around them moves and others flee the scene, scurrying to not associate.
Pause it. Alright, I can't take this anymore.
What?
I can't take this anymore. Alright. So, let me get this started. The title, if you're white, you can't be this.
Well, if you're not white, you literally can't be this.
Okay. So I saw this video in my recommended feed at some point, and I was like, I'm gonna have to save this for the doggies. And this is my first time trying to watch it, and this is honestly incredible. So here we obviously have some blonde, blue, fucking white bitch, like telling.
You sure that's not green?
Is that green?
Is that a filter? How do we know she's really white?
Yeah, that might be fake. Anyway, I think she's wearing contact lenses, trying to hide her true blue eyes. So like, what is this concept of like right-wingers? I'm gonna scroll and look at the comments who think, like, who don't understand the word nationalist, but then like say it all the time. You know what I mean?
I can only get two comments in, and then that's that. Like, that's as far as deep as I want to go.
Like,
okay, I went 3, and that's a bit much.
I'm white and proud. Like, I don't understand. What is there to be proud of when you're white? Do you know?
I have brown hair, and I'm proud.
Like, I can understand being proud of yourself, but why do you have to be proud of white people? You know what I mean? Like, white people, first of all, is an abstract, malleable concept that changes throughout history.
I'm not proud of anybody else, though. Just white people.
So, I don't know. I don't understand this being proud of being a white thing. It's a little weird. And this video is 13 minutes. I don't know if I can stomach that.
Is that just, like 13 minutes of, like, well, like, just, like, pondering? It's like, you can't say this! They're going to be mad. It's banned.
Also, what is this meme about it being banned? Like, like this is a video with 137,000 views and almost 6,000 comments. What is this weird? And like, look at the like recommended videos. I'm signed out, so this is a fresh tab with like no sort of, you know, Google tracking things. And look at all these videos. 1.6 million views, 1.2, 1.5, 1.7 million views of all this like Jordan Peterson shit.
Oh, really?
1.2 million views, Race and IQ, Stefan Molly meme. Like, what is this? Like, ooh, we can't talk about it. Ooh. When like literally fucking everyone is talking about it. I don't know. It's strange. It's strange. The weird censorship victim complex here. It's just super strange.
It's because they're so stupid that they just can't help but incite violence when they're on Facebook and other websites like Twitter and stuff. So they just end up getting banned.
Like, okay, so like here's the thing. Like, you can say, I'm proud of my family. I'm proud of, like, you know, my city, my culture. But saying you're proud of being white, like, it requires just a historical ignorance that, like, how do you not know about slavery? You know what I mean? Like, how do you hear things like slavery and like just not know what it means? Like, I learned what slavery was in, like, I don't know, 6th, 7th grade. I kind of like was when I first went in depth on it. And it's like, how do you just like, yeah, slavery happened, And then they all had rights instantly, because it's not like Jim Crow ever existed. It's not like redlining existed. It's not like, black people couldn't have fucking access to property in most places. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand this. I'm proud of being white. Like, what are you proud of? Like, literally? Because, again, like, whiteness as a concept is malleable. Like, for example, do you remember when Irish people in America were looked down on because they were dirty immigrants? Ooh, I don't want those Irish people here. I don't know. This shit's just... I can't even. I was gonna make fun of this, but now I'm just mad.
I'm just mad.
I'm just triggered right now.
You got triggered in the first minute. Like, fucking look at the standard SJW. Can't even take a minute of free speech, unfiltered content, and you just get off the walls.
Alright, I'm gonna try again. Let's play again.
Not be labeled one too. If I say the word, this video could be banned for promoting it. Stopping discussion of it is literally the biggest priority for tech companies and governments.
You have no place on our platforms.
And other tech companies, as we know, follow their lead.
You have no home here.
White. What does it evoke in your mind? I don't even have to say it. Anti-white propaganda has laid it all out for you. We've all seen the movies. Hollywood makes it all very clear. White equals the worst thing any white person can ever be. Even I haven't particularly liked the term because it evokes something from the 1970s Aryan nation run by meth.
What is with this white bunny in the background here? Like, what
is this imagery?
The imagery here is what's really strange. Like, why
did they... taking milk, white milk.
And this is weird because like last time I checked, now I could be wrong, but last time I checked, Donald Trump is president. So what is this like? Oh, white nationalism is being silenced by government. Like, I don't know. I mean, I guess they're talking about Europe. But it's like, good.
You see, like, when companies do things, they have no other motives. What they say is literally what they mean, of course.
And like, I don't understand this harping on like tech companies. Like, they're not saying bad things here. Like, if you want to point out tech company hypocrisy, like, I mean, that's easy. But like, just saying like white nationalists have no home here, I mean, that's pretty good to me. Like, I don't think anyone cares about you. Like, if white nationalists had a home, then y'all wouldn't be having an immigration crisis, right? Oh, wait, no, you don't have a home? Because no one gives a fuck about white people. I'm sorry, I hate to say it. I'm gonna skip ahead here.
Hey, what is that? Is that a white wolf?
Oh, God. Let's go to 9
Why do I
minutes.
keep seeing this, like, rainbow, like, haired, like... fucking frog with the clown nose. Where'd you go?
I'm at 9 minutes. I'm just gonna start from there.
So we're really deep diving here. We've skipped
deep dive.
8 minutes
This
of
is a deep
unfiltered content.
No one else on the left, I don't think, has ever made it this far. And to be honest, we haven't either. We're skipping. So, alright, let's play.
Colonies and foreign lands, but nah. All that goes out the brain when non-Europeans are doing the colonizing. So colonizing in massive numbers in European countries, even small ones like Sweden, isn't extreme. But for a Swede to say, wait a minute, hold on, what is going on here? I don't like this. Everything is changing. I want Sweden to be Swedish people. Then it's alert the presses. We have an extremist and a white and a white.
Wait a second.
This is how far gone the West is. Wanting to maintain the founding stock of a country is extremist and dangerous, but completely and utterly transforming a country with millions of people you don't know from opposing cultures, even when it's the cause of violence, that's being tolerant and the right thing to do. Yet those few Europeans scattered across Africa.
Oh, what is this? I don't understand this notion of like immigrants are taking over the entirety of the country. Like, I'm sure there's like rural towns where like there's a bunch of Swedes hanging out. What is this like weird thing? Like, don't immigrants mostly go to like cities, and aren't cities pretty diverse anyway? That's what I've read. That's what I've read in like Everything for America. Now, again, I'm not a European scholar here, But I don't understand this meme here.
Now, I'm no like expert at like maps, but like, isn't the Earth a globe? How can there be a west and an east? That makes no sense. Isn't Sweden kind of in the middle?
That's good. That's good.
It's very strange. Why would they say that?
It's very
I'm just
strange
kind of
behavior.
not sure what they mean.
I don't know. It's like, and also it's like I can understand wanting to have like some sort of weird cultural homeland, so to speak. I can understand that, but like what I don't understand is forcing that belief on everyone else. You know what I mean? Because that's what this is about. Like if all the white people wanted to like move somewhere else, they can. You know, like what's stopping them from moving somewhere else? Like, or like concentrating somewhere like somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like it's not like this is like a new phenomenon. Like it's not like for example, the United States of America, like the Native Americans got displaced. Like where are they supposed to go? Like how come like white people, like white nation, like nationalism is like white people everywhere and then no one else anywhere? Like that's what this is. You know what I mean? I don't get it. Like it's okay when we invade everything and we destroy everyone. That's fine. You know, when we like just fuck up literally every single country on planet Earth, almost. I'm talking about Britain here. Like they just fuck them all up and then just say, "All right, that's fine." What do you think, Brooke? Like,
Well, the reason they can't do it is because they live in different countries and they're different people, and there's no unifying factor between them except for like what they like the skin color, which is like not even like remotely like relevant.
could you imagine? Like, I can understand culture, right? Like, I get it. Like, you'd want to hang out, like, with your buds and listen to rock and roll and fucking, you know, like, play pinball. I get it. But who cares about their fucking skin color? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, I can understand having a, like, you know, a nationalized language. You know, like, English is the standard language for this country. Fine. Like, you know, that kind of stuff. But it's like, when you're bringing in race, it's just so strange. Like, genetic purity? You know what I mean? Like it's like
Sure doesn't sound like freedom to me.
Yeah, that's not free in any capacity. I just don't understand genetic purity because it's like I can understand cultural purity. Like we all want to have our own thing going on. Like that's fine. But it's like, and also it's like, have you ever gone through a city and like, you know, you have like Italian restaurants, Chinese restaurants, like all that kind of like, yeah, like that's cool. Like, I love going, like, oh, all right, let's go to a French restaurant down the street. Oh, let's eat some Ethiopian food. Like, that's fun. Like, I don't understand, like, why would you spend your entire life just like, oh, I'm going to eat hot dogs and fucking potato chips.
Pork and beans.
Talk to Frank down the street. Like, I don't I mean, like, if you want, go for it. But, I mean, that seems pretty boring to me. I don't know. I don't know. This video is just like really strange. I thought this would be
seems
funnier.
like an echo chamber, perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought this would be funnier, but it's just kind of sad. And like, what is this weird thing where like white?
Look at those white flowers in the background.
We're like
that white bunny running through the white flowers.
Oh my god, with the vanilla ice
the
cream.
White building.
I really don't understand.
Tree with a white kid beside it.
Stop. All the snow.
The snow.
Stop. I just don't understand why right wingers think that leftists hate white people. In the sense that like we hate people with white skin. Like newsflash, like, you know.
Oh, look at this! This is a red fox. That's really different here. That's very different.
We're just gingers.
What?
Those are the gingers.
Why is there why did they show a bunch of sheep?
Oh my god.
Very strange.
Sheep are cute as fuck.
Are they trying to tell us something?
I don't know. I just this weird ass shit. I don't know. It's weird.
They are for the future of the web.
Like
So what do you think the commenters took from this? The YouTube experts. The
Like, the whole
people
video
who,
is like,
watching
it's
something, I
okay to
have
be
something
white,
say.
and that, like, white people should have things in places, and it's like, no one disagrees with that. Literally no one. There is not, like, maybe you can find some stupid thing said by a stupid person on the left who's like, oh, everyone with light skin should be murdered. Like, I'm sure someone's written that some point, sometime. Okay, but that's, like, 0.0000001% of, like, a fraction of, like, another fraction of a fucking sub-community. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one actually believes that shit. And
Here's the real
newsflash,
question,
most of us
though.
are white as well. Like,
Okay,
I don't know. It's,
so you live in a white ethno-state. Do tanning salons exist?
ask Donald
they?
Trump.
Are they a thing? Do they have like sunscreen like
Imagine
everywhere?
like a white ethno state and you get sunburn and then you get kicked out of it. Like, imagine like, I don't know, a fucking. It's just like the race is as a dividing line. It's just so stupid. Proud white American nationalist. Like,
Christian phobe.
I'm a white nationalist, and that's not a bad thing. Like,
My God, this guy has an eagle avatar.
I don't know. Like, there's just like 6,000 of these.
What they don't understand is like they brought up Sweden as an example. Like, you don't need to be a white nationalist to like care about your like country and your like culture. That's like your culture isn't being white; it's being Swedish. Like, you know what I mean?
Uh huh.
They're disconnected, and people.
That's the thing, is there is no such thing as white identity. It's just like, that doesn't exist. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Italians have specific features, like fucking Russians have specific features, Germans have specific features, like fucking, you know, like there is no such thing as white people. It's just like they happen to have similar skin colors, and that's it. Like, for example, fucking like Indian people have, you know, very, very similar features to white people. They just have different skin tones. You know what I mean? And who cares? Who gives a fuck? Who cares? Who cares? Literally, nobody. Nobody cares, except for these people, apparently.
I think. I don't know. It's
Like,
just
okay,
so
look at this
strange.
comment.
It's all superficial too.
This
like,
comment is nobody, like, you know, it's like a dialogue, and then it's like the SJWs and Black Lives Matter. Winter is racist because the snow is white. Like, who says that? Nobody says that, especially not SJWs or fucking Black Lives
Do you know what
Matter.
they often say? They often say, "I want to see snow for the first time in my life because it's kind of cool." That's what they say.
Snow was
Because
pretty cool, I'll be honest.
like most people that live like in places that are where it's really hot, like they think it's cool. Like they don't think like fucking white people. God, it's just fucking ridiculous.
And it's like another thing is like, what is there to be proud of when you're white? It's like you can like make like, oh, but why should you be proud of being black? I don't know, because black people are historically oppressed, and like the fact that they actually have any sort of freedom in society is pretty fucking impressive, you know? So it would be pretty prideful to be someone in like, you know, that you actually have power and like your ancestors had nothing. You know what I mean? Like, that's pretty cool. But like, what
That
is
is
the
pretty
white
cool.
equivalent? Like, I can understand like a white person being like, oh, I made it to college first in my family, like, but that's not like, that has nothing to do with being white. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand having family or familial pride, but it's like, what is the pride in white identity? I don't understand.
I mean, the only real pride is not being the other. Really,
I think we've talked too much about white nationalism.
maybe a bit too much.
I think we've talked too much. I don't know.
Speaking of white nationalists,
Speaking of white nationalists, reminder to watch our clips on speed.dog. We are premier content creators. And yeah, give me money on Patreon. Brooke gets a 0% cut. Just saying.
you know, I actually made a Patreon like earlier just in case because they are rolling out new service fees. So if you make one afterwards, you are permanently fucked from using the website.
Okay. So Brooke will be having a Patreon soon. We are currently developing it. But for now, she gets 0%. She's only in it for the coattails.
I just know you need assistance and help, and I'm just here to help you.
Stop. Yeah, so we haven't, done Speed Dogs in a little bit again. We always get sidetracked,
I started a new job, and things got a little hectic.
Yeah, so we're figuring out scheduling. I think we're going to start taking the dogs into a slightly different approach. And we're going to have more interviews, I think. So if anyone has anyone they want to be interviewed, let us know. And do you have anything else to say about that? We're looking for speedrunners.
I just want to talk about ideas.
Mostly. I just want to talk about I'm mostly interested in speedrunners, although I would love to have guests of other kinds. I think
a political nature, perhaps?
Yeah, I think speedrunning is a good spot to start, because there's a lot to talk about. And I think it's
lots of
cool.
Content and ideas.
Lots of content, lots of ideas, high energy, high importance. So yeah, this episode of the Speed Dogs will be pretty fun, hopefully. If you've enjoyed listening us talk about white nationalism for 20 minutes, then I don't know why, but we're going to be talking about white nationalism a little bit more, actually, because our next story, and all the gamers are going to be upset about this.
Speaking of speedrunners and gamers, no, white nationalism.
So, okay, I have this clip here that I'm going to extrapolate on.
This is kind of like that video we just watched, where it's like,
this is
you
kind of
can't
like
say
that
this
video?
word, we're being persecuted.
Yeah? Okay. So someone sent me this clip of Caleb Hart42. This is when he got unbanned from Twitch. And this is around the same time where I sent him a personal message. Okay, so a lot of gamers, right, in the previous video that we uploaded, were like, oh, give him a chance, why don't you give him a second chance? So I sent him a personal message. I asked him, like, can you make a public statement about transgender people? Right? And he blocked me, of course. So
yeah, fuck yeah, that's about time.
A little strange that someone who's so interested in apologizing for bad behavior just blocks me and then refuses to actually talk about bad behavior. That's weird.
How do you feel about this green shirt he's wearing right now?
I don't like this green shirt. I don't like this green shirt at all, in fact. So just my favorite part was when there was this gamer who fucking replied to the Caleb video that we did and was like, how dare you criticize the Yu-Gi-Oh card in the background? I'll have you know, it's like a really dude, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? Okay, so I just want to watch this clip. I
want to point out how much they dunked on Serpent Knight Dragon.
Yeah, Serpent Knight Dragon's fucking awesome, and fuck you if you disagree. Alright, anyway, play?
Single bait, man. Here's the thing, is that, I know... I'm aware of a lot of people.
There's a lot of them.
Are watching right now only.
There's two of them at least.
Because they got their finger on the quit button to take anything that I say and then throw it on social media to try to make this situation worse. I know you're...
The situation get worse?
Well, guess what? You're not getting shit.
What is this music?
It's cringe. Okay, so now, for any triggered gamers who might be currently in the middle of writing an essay in the comment section, hear me out here. So, if you get called out on bad behavior, ideally, the response is to acknowledge bad behavior, apologize for it, and do better. So, Caleb has not
He's definitely not acknowledged.
He's not acknowledged any of his bad behavior. He's not apologized for it. He's only done abstract apologies. And then he's also not changed his opinions. Why do you think he's so scared to talk about anything? Because he knows people are going to clip it and then make it worse for me. How about you just have a good fucking take? You won't get harassed if you don't say trans people are men in dresses and they're not really women. No one's going to harass you if you say that.
Well, actually,
maybe Caleb...
Ms. Discard, I think perhaps people would be upset.
I think people would be upset. And
That's why
I
you
want
can't do anything.
Caleb tweeted this fucking stupid garbage. We all make mistakes, man. We all fuck up, man. And we like, you're not acknowledging the mistake in any capacity, dude. Like,
I'm sorry I cheated on that test. Oh wait, I did other things that were worse.
And then you have these people in the comment section. Outrage culture is just ridiculously beyond belief. Like, what is how is it beyond belief? This guy is not acknowledging. You're echoing, by the way. Turn your shit down. Not acknowledging his behavior. He's not apologizing for it. I make mistakes. I'm a victim. And like, this fucking clip is really funny because like, in reality, this clip is cowardice. But you know how he presents it? He's like, I thought about it. And I'm watching you, and I know what you're doing. He's trying to, like, intimidate people with his, I'm a man. Look at me. Ooh, look, I'm lifting weights. Oh, I'm
Flex
Caleb.
ring, come on, do it. Your shirt's off.
I'm fucking Caleb. Look at me. Look at me. I'm Caleb. Oh, look at me. Like, seriously, dude, like, you can't drop the persona for a second to just say, like, oh yeah, I hated trans people, this was pointed out to me, I did research, and I found out I was dumb, and they're not actually men in dresses. Like, it's that simple.
Actually, he didn't do research.
Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. Of course he didn't. He always says, oh, we have time to reflect. What are you reflecting? What are you reflecting? Why don't you just tell us what you're reflecting?
He thought about it a lot.
Like, again, I'm not watching this guy's stream because I don't like him, right? Like, I think he's a garbage person. But, like, if he reflected and made a public statement on transgender people that was good, wouldn't I know about it? Like, wouldn't someone say, like, oh, someone sent me this? Like, you know, like, why wouldn't someone send me that? Oh, because he hasn't made any public statements that are good. He's just, oh, don't talk about it. I'm going to censor your free speech.
You know, he just wants politics out of video games. He just wants it to be about the game.
I'm just playing Final Fantasy. Yeah, so what if I hate transgender people? Like, you know, just...
What's your favorite Final Fantasy?
I just want to play Final Fantasy.
I hate trans people.
Final Fantasy's so good. But I don't know, just look at this guy's fucking... Look at this shit. Like, these comments are fucking so stupid. Hell yeah, brother! Like, it's like...
Hell yeah. What are you hell yeahing? Hell yeah into what?
God, I hate Caleb.
Where's the hell and where's the yeah?
Hell yeah, man! I haven't acknowledged my bad behavior in any capacity, and I still perpetuate bad behavior, and all of my fans are, like, also really bad at perpetuate bad behavior, but, like, I definitely took my time to reflect, and I learned my lesson, and I'm definitely a smarter and more intelligent and compassionate person. I'm Caleb! Oh! God. God, what is wrong with these people, these fucking buff gamers? I hate buff gamers. Because, like, this guy, like, is like the kind of guy who thinks because he's buff that, like, he's like, oh, I've hacked the system, I know everything, I'm super duper, and it's like, you're not super anything.
I've hacked the system.
You're not super fucking
I've
anything.
solved this video game.
Why is de Blasio trending? Oh. Fuck you. Alright, I want to talk about, this is a little old, but it's important to talk about gay people.
The gays, as
we're
it's being,
the gays, as you may know them by their colloquial name, the gays. So this is just another example for people that don't follow politics that closely. Like, I'm sure you've heard, you know, oh, gay Republicans who are, you know, secretly snorting cocaine off of, you know, gay hookers' assholes. You know what I mean? That's a thing. This isn't the first one.
You had a perfect opportunity to talk about dick, and you just completely blew it. It's true.
Stop it. Stop it. Okay, so what's the popular position to take? Well, I mean, popular position is obviously human rights for all. What's the popular position to take if, I don't know, you're a Republican in Congress? Oh, right.
Vote no on everything.
Gay people should die and burn, and we should roll back their laws. This guy actually
They shouldn't be able to be married. He voted.
They shouldn't be able to go outside, let alone be married. Like, keep them in cages, put them in the zoo.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so...
He's certainly at the zoo here. You look at him.
Oh my God, stop it. But yeah, this guy I think got a 0% approval rating from the Human Rights Campaign for
0%.
hating gay people in his thing, and like he's hanging out with the gays, he's slobbering them up, he's feeling them up, and it's like, I don't know, like I just don't see how people can treat Republicans like they're anything but just obnoxiously evil. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to break it to you, Gab Boomer, but yeah, the Republicans are all gay. They just don't want you to know about it because they want your vote. Like, they're all gay. Why do you think they talk about gay people so much? Isn't that weird? Isn't that really strange that they keep talking about gay people? It's weird. Ted Cruz, I'm looking at you. I'm not actually looking at you. I would never look at Ted Cruz. just in general. Just in general, I would just never look at Ted Cruz. Yeah, we have a clip here. That have you seen this clip yet, Brooke?
Where would you go?
Which clip? The
housing one.
I'm sorry, I kind of fucked it up, I think.
You fucked it up?
I fucked it up.
Why did you fuck it up? Don't fuck it up.
I have it here.
You have it.
Okay.
Okay, so I've seen this clip before, but I wanted to talk about it because it's this is something.
I have not seen this clip.
Well,
I do not. I started it, but I didn't know what it was about, so I kind of just stopped.
Do you have a barf bag? Any sort of container or apparatus that you could use for? All right, we got a cup.
Barf cup.
Okay, so you're poor. You just got kicked out of your house, and mainstream media wants your perspective. How do you think this is gonna go?
On getting kicked out?
Yeah. How do you think this is gonna go?
Probably not so good. Probably not so good.
This is honestly, this is just like, when I first saw this, I thought it was like a parody, because usually mainstream media, like, they usually aren't this open about their bigotry against poor people. But this is incredible, so let's play the clip.
Okay, this is a Twitter video, so we're rolling the dice here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the issue is with 2 months, it's like in London at the moment, it's really hard to find somewhere.
Tell me when?
It's really expensive on average. It costs about £2,000 to.
Huh?
That's not the landlord's fault, though, is it? I mean, that's just
When?
Yeah,
When? What are you talking about?
When did I press play?
I already told you to press play.
You didn't say press play.
I said press play.
You
Oh
did.
my god, this terrible podcaster. Holy shit, I'm 30 seconds in, I'm listening to the conversation, and you're just off in la la land.
When?
What? Oh, this amateur hour.
When?
The haters are right. I shouldn't have hired you onto the scene. This is terrible behavior. Can someone please give me a new podcast host? My lord. Are you ready yet?
When?
When? Alright. Play? It's not playing? It's broken?
Oh my god. What are you doing?
It's not working.
isn't it? And the landlord.
Okay, now it's working. Alright. Play?
Where would you go now? I mean, simply you're going to have to find somewhere else to rent, aren't you?
Yeah, so the issue is with 2 months, it's like in London at the moment, it's really hard to find somewhere. It's really expensive on average. It costs about £2,000 to.
That's.
Oh my god, it's buffering. What the fuck? Holy shit. That's it. I'm about to just cancel everything.
Cancel?
The media could not be played. The media could not be played. They're censoring my free speech. Oh my god. All right,
You're getting evicted from your Twitter office.
We are going to restart this entire segment. We are going to restart this entire segment. I am just... Okay, technical difficulties. Okay, so you know what I hate? Poor people. Let's go.
You're going to have to find somewhere else to rent, aren't you?
Yeah, so the issue is with 2 months, it's like
Generally what happens when you lose your housing.
somewhere. It's really expensive on average. It costs about £2,000 to.
That's not the landlord's fault, though, is it? I mean, that's just
that sort of things.
Yeah, that's just the housing market, isn't it? And the landlord would have the same issues if you decided to move out in 2 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's a systemic problem. This is, if we can't really afford that £2,000, and, why should we have to, working people, why should we have to raise that just for doing absolutely nothing wrong? Why should it be so hard for us to, live secure lives? We can't afford to,
It's a good question.
Property, so, we have to rent.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose some would say, and I am speaking as somebody who has rented flats, who also rents flats.
I'm a landlord.
That, especially with the younger generation, in terms of renters, you very often find that tenants don't really know how to do a great deal in a home. So I, for example, have had tenants complaining that lights have popped because they don't know how to change light bulbs. I've had tenants complaining about
Pause it. Okay,
It's
pause
paused.
it. Okay.
My mouth is open. What?
Okay, so this bitch is talking about light bulbs. We're talking about systemic poverty and how fucking austerity and inflation destroy the working class. And she's like, "Oh, but are you not changing your light bulbs? I'm not changing your light bulbs. Why are you changing your light bulbs?" All right, play.
She's getting housing explained right now, by the way.
I mean, it's just very obvious things. If you lived in a home that you owned, nobody would be able to fix these things for you. They're just things that actually often require a bit of common sense. Do you think you found amongst your friends, perhaps, that you perhaps aren't equipped with all the necessary skills to rent?
I mean, yeah, I think, I don't know, that's a bit patronising, really, because, I mean, if, we weren't complaining about things like a light bulb, needing to change a light bulb. Those things, are easy things to fix. And, I mean, if a landlord was getting pissed off by that, surely the reasonable thing to do is to communicate with each other and resolve that. Why should the consequence of that being, them hitting, an eject button and turning your lives upside down because of that?
Okay, Kirsty, we're going to leave it there.
Response.
Okay, Kirsty, we're going to leave it there, and I should apologise for Kirsty's language there again. If anyone was offended by her language, there, Kirsty Archer, who.
What?
Okay.
What? I just got offended by that drool that came out of your mouth.
Okay,
I'm
did
sorry.
you hear when the lady was like, "Oh, if a landlord gets pissed off," and then she was like, did you hear the audible gasp? It's
I
like,
didn't even notice she said that. I literally just.
yeah, of course, because it's a word that everyone uses. You know what I mean? Who cares? But this fucking can you imagine having the audacity to a poor person who's literally fucking homeless is pleading, saying we should have a society that doesn't fuck our entire lives up for one potential not even our fault mistake. You know what I mean? That's all she's saying. And then this fucking dumb cunt is like, but what about the light bulbs? The light bulbs pop. I'm gonna pop the light bulb. It's
I'm sorry, she can't afford $2,000.
Fucking, if anyone got offended by her language, dude, what is wrong with rich people? Seriously, how does this person exist? And she's lucky I don't know her name.
What is the relevancy of her bringing up that she rents out apartments? What is the relevance here?
She said, "I'm a landlord. I hate you. I hate poor people because I'm a landlord. I'm a landlord.
My tenants are stupid.
My tenants don't know how to put a light bulb. Poor people are really dumb because they don't know how to get a light bulb, and then I have to pay $8 for a pack of light bulbs because my tenant broke them, and now I'm a landlord."
Maybe they're I don't know, busy and don't give a shit about assuming that you know how to do it. They just don't want to put the time into it because they know you know how to fix it, and they're busy. Is that out there? Is that strange?
I think it's strange that this person is fucking where they are. I don't know. This is proof we do not live in a meritocracy. How is this stupid fucking bitch where she is? You know what? I'm a landlord.
I'm not a
Landlords are
libertarian
such
anymore.
shit,
Meritocracies don't exist. I'm no longer an individualist.
Fucking
just after this 2-minute club.
Get rid of every single landlord. God. I hate landlords.
You seriously, like, I seriously don't believe that anybody could actually, like, think that people are too dumb to, like, change a light bulb. Like,
Random person on the
you
street,
have
you're
to
probably
be
poor.
so delusional.
You're
to
homeless
think
because
that.
you can't change a light bulb. Like, I know it. And you can't change a light bulb because I said so. Like, imagine, that's your argument. That's your argument. Poor people can't change light bulbs. Like, what?
And so they don't deserve to have, like, a place to sleep at night.
Holy fucking fuck. What is wrong with landlords? Ugh. It's disgusting.
Do you know what the worst phrase I've ever heard is?
What?
Good landlord.
I've got a good landlord. A good landlord is one that doesn't charge rent. That's a good landlord. Alright. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so Joe Biden. The
This
big
is a long time coming, right? They were first unannounced, but pretty much running, and then they were announcing that they were going to announce, and now they have finally announced.
America's an idea. I just want to talk about ideas. I'm Joe Biden. I'm going to restore the idea of this nation. Alright.
Is that how we talk?
No, that's how Dave Rubin talks. The title, America is an idea. Like,
I mean, it's like an actual place where people live.
actual place where people live and has history that matters. But instead of caring about history, like for example, Joe Biden hating Anita Hill, hating black people, hating poor people, loving the credit card industry, instead of caring about that history, let's care about the history. Huh?
Nothing. God.
Let's care about the history of the last few years, because that's all that matters. So, this is Joe Biden, or running for president. Press play.
Charlottesville, Virginia is home to the author of one of the great documents in human history. We know it by heart. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. We've heard it so often, it's almost a cliche, but it's who we are. We haven't always lived up to these ideals. Jefferson himself did,
Canadian.
but we have never before walked away from them. Charlottesville is also home to a defining moment for this nation in the last few years.
Alright, pause. Okay, first of all, he opens up no policy. You know, what was Bernie Sanders' announcement trailer? Like,
he's already deep into the policy.
Like,
he has like
Bernie Sanders in the first 10 seconds is like, change never comes from the top down. We gotta rise up. Minimum wage, healthcare. Like, and this guy's like, America's an idea. Here
are some words. Someone
words
has wrote
that mean
this.
nothing. So, okay, before we get to the Charlottesville part, like, I just want to say, this is a good, like, video in the sense of, like, if people already don't understand that Charlottesville is a national tragedy, like, that is just, you know, not talked about in the sense that it is, like, this will do a good job, hopefully, kind of waking some people up, and, like, especially the Joe Biden kind of people. Like, so I appreciate waking up the Joe Biden kind of people in that kind of sense, but, like, just, like, keep in mind where this is coming from. Like, he was vice president under Obama, right? Obama created the culture that got Trump elected.
Do you think so?
Yeah, of course.
What's your take there?
What's my take there? I mean, he did nothing to fix the problem. All he did was put a Band-Aid on capitalism. No health care, right? Where did, like, the poor, like, no, like, poor people did not recover from the recession, just straight and simple. Rich people recovered because they got all the money. Where's the poor people? Where's our money? Hello? Anyway, this is Joe Biden talking about Charlottesville. Play.
It was there on August of 2017 we saw Klansmen,
Pretty
white
cringe
supremacists,
shields.
and neo-Nazis come out in the open. Their crazed faces, illuminated by torches, veins bulging, and
Imagine
bearing the
being in
fangs
this
of
video and it's like,
racism,
oh, hey, it's me.
chanting the same anti-Semitic bile heard across Europe in the 30s.
Mommy, I went to Charlottesville.
And they were met by a courageous group of Americans.
Imagine like you're
In a
fucking,
violent clash
I don't
ensued.
know, dating some cute boy, and then like you just see them in
And a
this
brave
video.
young
Oh my
woman lost her life.
god.
It's like, whoops.
And that's when we heard
Thought
the
you
words
were-
the
Like it's
president
gotta
Sorry.
happen, right?
that stunned the world and shocked the conscience of this nation.
Someone has to,
He
like
said
at
there
some
were,
point.
quote,
Like,
some very fine people on both sides. Very fine people on both
what
sides.
is this thing that he's doing with his eyeballs?
Those words, the President of the United States assigned a moral equivalence between those spreading hate and those with the courage to stand against it.
Pause. I just want to say, I appreciate the fact that Joe Biden's endorsing Antifa right here. Like, can I just say, like, represent, you know? Like, this is like, go Joe.
Oh, Joe! That should
I don't
really
know.
be like.
Like, I haven't seen much, and like, as far as people talking about it, literally he's endorsing
Go
it.
Joe.
Like, this is an endorsement of Antifa. Like, if he were to say this more than once, like, maybe I'll vote for Joe Biden. But, until then, I want healthcare. So, let's press play.
And in that moment, I knew the threat to this nation was unlike any I had ever seen in my lifetime.
Threat to this nation.
I wrote at the time that we're in the battle for the soul of this nation. Well, that's even more true today. We are in the battle for the soul of this nation. I believe history will look
Just called
back
himself.
on 4 years of this president and all he embraces as an aberrant moment in time. But if we give Donald Trump 8 years in the White House, he will forever and fundamentally alter the character of this nation, who we are, and I cannot stand by and watch that happen. The core values of this nation, our standing in the world, our very democracy, everything that has made America America is at stake. That's why today I'm announcing my candidacy for President of the United States.
Like, it would have been really good if he would have been like, and that's why I'm announcing that I will not be running for President of the United States, because I know I will not fix any of these problems and I will exacerbate them incredibly, and all I want to do in my entire life is be president, but I understand now is not the time, and my ego should be set aside, so let's elect Bernie Sanders as president so that we can fix these problems. Right? Is that what he's about to say? Play.
Folks, America's an idea. An idea that's stronger than any army, bigger than any ocean, more powerful than any dictator or tyrant.
America's
It gives
an
hope
idea.
to the most desperate people on earth. It
Very high
guarantees
level
that
important
everyone is
ideas.
treated with dignity and gives hate no safe harbor. It instills in every person in this
Hate?
country
Really
the
just
belief
proud
that
of
no
my
matter
skin color.
where you
It's not
start
hate.
in life, there's nothing
It's
you
just an
can't
idea.
achieve if you work at it. That's what we believe. And above all else, that's what's at stake in this election.
Policy,
We
where you
can't
at?
forget what happened in
Policy.
Charlottesville.
We can't forget what
Even
happens
more important,
when
we have to
don't have
remember
healthcare.
who we are.
45,000
This
people
is
die every
America.
year because of lack of health insurance. Any mention? Any mention? I'm not seeing it anywhere.
It's gotta be more than that. It has to be an underreported number.
Well, I mean, those are the people that die every year explicitly because of lack of health insurance. I mean, there's the fact that, like, you know, for example, I don't have health insurance, right? So, like, I don't go to the doctor. Like, I just
Right.
don't. I can't afford it. So it's like, you know, maybe I'll die, like, 4 years from now. But it's like, you know, that would have been, you know, it's a statistic that matters. Like, I feel like the statistic that really matters is that, like, how many times have people avoided the doctor? I literally know someone who had a routine flu and didn't go to the doctor and died. Oops. Now, granted, I mean, I think they had health insurance and they just didn't want to go.
Most
But
people don't go to the doctor for flus. Even
yeah,
here.
I mean, it's just like it's the culture of like, oh, do I have to pay copay? Do I have to go there?
Yeah.
And it's
If
like,
it gets bad enough, you just go to the hospital. I mean, ideally, right? Like, you just go.
Ideally,
If you're worried, you just go. If you're scared,
Ideally.
you just go.
I just want to talk about ideas. I'm Joe Biden.
Ideas and
Let's talk
ideals.
about ideas. But yeah, so Joe Biden's a bad guy. And I want to talk a little bit about how much of a bad guy he is. Because we have a fun little thread about a little bit of history of you know, Joe Biden's kind of thing here. So he makes this video about Charlottesville. without ever really going to Charlottesville, without ever really talking to the people involved. And then he also talks about, like, oh, people died. And you'd think, oh, right, like, there's family members of the people who were killed there. Should I talk to them? No, didn't talk to them until after the fact. So he talked to the mother of Heather Hare, and like, I don't know, it's just like, it's weird. It's weird, and she says a few things of like, here we go again, kind of like, oh, people are just gonna bring up Charlottesville. Like, imagine, like, I don't know, I just can't accept people bringing up Charlottesville unless they're like a Bernie Sanders style, let's fix this fucking shit kind of person, because then it's just offensive. You know what I mean?
It's like kind of like identity politics, where it's like
literally. It's
like no hate, but, like,
there's a bunch of Nazis, and like I'm not a Nazi, but like I'm like pretty close ideologically, and my economic policy is very close, and it's like, I agree with them on most economic policies, but I'm not a Nazi, and I'm gonna run for president. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't like the idea of this fucking guy
it's like
parading around
stuff,
where
it's all like, where it's like, don't swear and be respectful, but like what actually matters is like,
and again, what causes this stuff are systemic problems. So again, if like at the end he were like, and I know that I will do nothing, and we should elect Bernie Sanders and get healthcare for all and stuff, it's like, yeah, okay, like that's how you solve the issue.
Andrea, I know it's a systemic thing, but like sometimes people don't know how to change light bulbs.
Stop. You know who didn't know how to change a light bulb? Anita Hill definitely did not know how to change a light bulb, because I mean, like, honestly, I don't know why this is such a bad segue, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know how many people here are familiar with the Anita Hill testimony stuff. During all the Kavanaugh stuff, I went and rewatched all that. I didn't watch all of it. I had seen some clips prior, but I went and watched, like, all of it. And honestly, like, that shit was painful to watch. Like, if because I know a lot more people probably saw the Kavanaugh stuff than the Anita Hill stuff, and like, imagine that, but it's like, instead of just one kind of like crazy person, Kavanaugh, I mean, you could say like, Chuck Grassley, Lindsey Graham, like, instead of like 2 or 3, like the Anita Hill hearing was just almost all excruciatingly evil behavior. And you want to know who was in charge of the Judiciary Committee?
Who was that?
Joe Biden, Senator Joseph Biden. And so one thing that I think is going to be a huge hole in Joe Biden's campaign is the Anita Hill stuff, because it's honestly just like, I feel like this is just objectively bad, at least for like any boomer women. You know what I mean? I feel like boomer women can kind of see this and see like, yeah, we should at least vote for some other old guy. You know
some other old guy, maybe like a really, really old guy.
Maybe like a really old guy who's like, got 3 houses.
Who's done a lot of stuff and like
has $1 million.
Lots of political activism behind them.
And I don't know.
Lots of burns as well.
Like, I don't know. So essentially, here in this story, Joe Biden attempts to apologize to Anita Hill, and as you can see in this article, Miss Hill says that the call was over and she felt deeply unsatisfied because, like, Joe Biden isn't apologizing in a sense of like, we'll do better.
Why now?
And yeah, why now? Like, why wait until now? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, I think you should read these articles. It's worth reading. It's worth looking at the original hearing. And then there's also the fact that there were other witnesses that were going to corroborate Anita, and Joe Biden was pivotal in preventing them. What the fuck? I don't want to subscribe. Oh my god, I can't look at this. I hit the New York Times article limit mid podcast, and now help.
I don't think I get that. Like, I just don't get the thing, the limit.
Help.
I'm sorry.
I think you should be the producer then, because
The producer.
I can't do this anymore.
I'm producing content, and you're producing the.
I'm producing
You're
ideas.
producing the video.
Oh my god. Anyway, kind of ruined my bit here. But I mean, there's multiple different witnesses besides Anita that Joe Biden wouldn't let testify and corroborate that Clarence Thomas was like a weirdo fucking meanie. You know what I mean?
Right. It completely changes the narrative if you disallow the like actual like reality.
Like it's much easier to gang up and attack someone if they're by themselves. And Joe Biden, again, pivotal, if not solely responsible, for most of the treatment that Anita Hill got. And this shit's just disgusting. So, I mean, I recommend reading these articles if you're allowed in the New York Times. Doesn't try to steal money from you. And look up some other sources. Watch the original testimony and educate yourself. Because Joe Biden is no good. And
Now, I mean, it is possible he has changed. Although, considering he called when considering running for president, and he slept every day fine for 28 years, and just now decided, maybe I should call.
maybe I should acknowledge something I did in my past.
I don't know. It's just a little strange.
I just want to discuss ideas. America's an idea.
America's an idea.
God, fucking
Like, are you like? Who told him to say that? Why
Dave
is that the
Rubin.
title?
Oh my god. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about Joe Biden because, like, I don't know.
Joe
I feel
Biden
like
personally called up Dave Rubin.
most people watching this material already either dislike Joe Biden or will listen to me and like read things on their own time. So the point, I don't need to spend like 30 minutes talking about this creature of the night.
Creature.
So, I'm going to take that opportunity and I'm going to talk about something else. So I'm going to talk about how much I hate cops. So here we have a story.
I mean, really, if you think about it, they're just doing the job well.
Blue Lives Matter, of course. Now, cops are people, and you're a person. You're a member of society, right?
I think so.
So, when you're a member of society, do you often carry a fake gun around with you in case you get into a jam, so that you can just plant the fake gun and then pretend like they were a threat to you? Is that something you've ever done as a member of society?
I don't know where to get a fake gun or a real gun. I don't know how to get a gun.
Go to the dollar store?
They don't sell fake guns there. They sell knockoff, like, water guns.
Yeah, get one of those.
It looked like a real gun.
I mean,
I swear.
it looks like a gun.
They shot something at me. It was cold. I felt
Could probably
cold.
draw a gun on a piece of paper and put it next to it. But yeah, so we have some interesting stuff here from the Baltimore Police Department, where a lot of the people in the actual officers were talking about a lot of their get out of jail free cards and a lot of the practices that they put forth. So yeah.
My particular favorite practice is they would drive at people and then get out and like rush at them to see if they would run away, and then they would detain them if they ran.
Yeah. So it's like these people. Okay, so people that watch me may not be down with the ACAB train, and let me explain to you why all cops are bastards. So you have cops out there that will do this kind of shit. This is literal terrorism, right? Like when you like drive up to random people and then like get out of your car and start running at them, that is terrorism. That is what a terrorist would do, right? You're invoking terror into someone for political purposes, because I want to arrest them, I want to get my arrest rate. Newsflash, if someone in any capacity drives up to me and then like their doors open and I hear people running, I'm getting the fuck out of there. Like that is something like you don't really take the time to kind of analyze that they're police officers, and even if they are, it's like that's scarier. You know what I mean? Like this shit is just disgusting. And it's like why on earth would you be a police officer when you know for a fact that this is the kind of stuff you're going to be doing? Like, the only kind of police officer that's good in any capacity would be a dirty cop who actively undermines, like, police, like, violence and racism and shit. That would be a good cop. But, like, do those really exist? Not really. Like, I don't, like...
Yeah, a good cop is one that's, like... I don't even know, you know, like...
I don't see any articles
not following
of good
the
cops.
institution of, like, standards.
I don't know. I just, like, why would you, like... I feel like if you're going to be even a good cop, like someone who tries to be good, is going to enact terror on people at some point. It's just, like, it just has to happen. Like, when you have people that are, like, 50, 60 years old, and they're still police officers, you know, it's like, what are these people doing? Like, for example, when I got swatted, right, I was trying to explain what swatting was to the police officers, and they didn't even, like, what's an internet? What's a webcam? How did someone know what you looked like? What? A picture? Like, why are these people police officers? You know what I mean? I don't know. I hate cops. I mean, I feel like if you don't hate cops, you're probably a cop. And if you're a cop, I don't want to talk to you.
You're probably a cop.
It's just the whole... I don't know. Like, what do cops do most of the time? Like, petty violations, petty arrests. Like... Sure, we have mass shootings frequently, and we have, like, home invasions, like, frequently, but, like, a cop a majority of the time isn't going to be handling that kind of stuff. They're going to be handling stupid shit. And...
That is true.
You have to keep that in mind. So, like, when you see an article of, like, a cop saves the day or whatever, you have to think, like, oh, they're 32 years old, they've been on the force for a decade.
The fact that a cop saving a day is even news is, like, ridiculous. Like, that's not news. They should be just saving the day. Like, that's literally their job.
That's literally their job.
That's literally the job.
I remember, like, after being sexually assaulted, talking to cops, and then they demanded to see my ID, and my ID is an old male ID, and then they immediately, like, started talking about how I'm a sexual deviant, and how I kind of deserved it. Like, literally... Like, I'm screaming, crying in the rain, like, help me, police officers. And they're like, oh, this stupid tranny, sexual deviant. It's like, I don't know. Like, I've never had a good experience with cops. They're garbage. Maybe, how are cops in Canada?
I don't really see them around that much.
I don't see them around.
Like, I don't interact with police on a day-to-day basis. I haven't really been in a situation where I needed to.
Okay.
So I don't really have a perspective.
Yeah, I don't know. Cops are really, really silly.
Actually, I mean, I did get pulled over once because I guess my car registration wasn't up to date and I was not aware. And they told me to, they gave me a warning and I drove home. And that was my experience. It was really, really scary. Like, getting pulled over is fucking terrifying.
Imagine, like, being black.
No kidding.
Yikes, that could be literally the last few moments of your life.
God damn, stop it.
Stop.
It's terrifying.
I don't know. I just, like, when there's so many systemic issues and they're only getting worse, I can't see being a good cop. I don't see how you can be a good cop. It's just my personal opinion. And I would recommend reading this article. There's lots of interesting information that kind of gives you insight on how these people think. Because, like, the majority opinion of cops and, like, how they, like, you know, go around their day is, like, they want to enact authority and violence over people. They don't actually care about protecting and serving.
Right, like, I read in there that there was incentives to, like, recover, like, guns.
Mm-hmm.
Now, capital, like, incentives to, like, do stuff seems very, very, like, susceptible to, like misuse and, like, just, like, very bad things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like,
I'm open. Like, if a pro cop person comes across this video and wants to debate, I'm open to it. But until then, ACAB? I don't know. Like,
I don't know too much about police, but I'm still of the opinion that they could potentially be reformed to be a lot better.
yeah, I mean, I don't think all cops are terrible, awful people. I just think the reasoning for becoming a cop usually involves being a terrible person. And, like, good cops quit. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many stories of good cops, like, going like, yeah, fuck that shit. I was on the force for, like, 2 years, and I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, if you are a bad person and you want authority, being a cop doesn't sound like a bad option.
So easy to just be a cop. So easy. Anyway, this stuff is sad.
It's quite sad.
Speaking about cops.
Speaking of sad.
I wanna switch to the booty gig real quick.
Okay.
This is somewhat tied in.
Oh my god, yeah. This is just really, like, this is really strange.
Okay. So we have a story from TYT Investigates. And so at a town hall, I think it was the big CNN town hall, Pete Buttigieg got a question about firing the first black police chief in South Bend, and apparently he lied. Didn't see that one coming.
So what was his response? Like,
something about like someone in the FBI told him that they were investigating the police chief,
right?
And so then he was like, "Well, I can't. If the FBI is investigating him, then I can't trust him." You know?
Yeah, he said that. He said, like, if you're being investigated, like, that's grounds to, like, demote you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It seems a little suspicious.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird, especially when they called up the lawyer, and the lawyer, who was a key part of all of these cases, said that the FBI never tracked anyone. So that's a little weird. That's strange. I mean, I don't know why you do that. If you want more context, the thing was the black police chief, the first black police chief, was the target of a bunch of racist tapes that were made of other people in the police force saying how much like I hate black people and so forth and all that.
Reminder: the person who discovered these tapes is fired. Mm-hmm. He got fired for that.
So like again, this is another classic example of like it's easier to cover up than to actually enact justice. You know what I mean? And this just goes back into the ACAB thing. Wow, the first black police chief, and what do all the cops in the force do? Oh, black people, I hate them. And it's like, I don't know, that kind of shit's just, it's disgusting. And the fact that Pete Buttigieg thinks that, like, he can just get away with that kind of stuff is also pretty disgusting. Because, like, you know for a fact that, like, this has been, like, a thing. If you read the article, it's been a thing that they've kind of tackled with on and off throughout the past few years. And if you know that this is going to come up, right, and you prepare yourself, why would you prepare yourself to lie in such a stupid way? You know what I mean? Like, it's such a stupid fucking way.
Perhaps there's just so much to like think about, and this is just like one of the things that is just there. You know, like one of the many.
I don't know. I don't see how people can support this guy in the first place. Like, he's just like, look at him. He looks like Leave It to Beaver, but all grown up. Like, honestly, like, what the fuck?
Wait a second. Leave It to Beaver.
Google Leave It to Beaver real quick. Gary Mathers as the Beaver.
I don't get it.
He literally looks like Leave It to Beaver, but all grown up.
Kinda.
What I'm saying is he's a white nerd, loser, geek, white guy with a bad haircut and a small head.
Small? He literally looks like his head is like in the same size as like when he was 9.
Oh, but enough of the personal attacks. I don't know. This guy's like he's got like around 9-10% in polls, and of course the polls are skewed and all that kind of crap. But I mean, like, the fact that this guy's got any supporters is strange. It's very strange.
So isn't this guy like, he was a mayor, right? Like,
Yeah.
of some who cares city.
Some stupid town, and he was a stupid mayor, and it did stupid things. Not to mention he's also got that racist housing policy, but you can look that up if you want.
Wait a second.
From what I understand, he did like gentrification in a lot of areas of his town, that kind of stuff.
I see him.
And of course, oops, accidentally, disproportionately affecting people of color.
Oopsie again. Accidentally replaced the black fire chief with the white fire chief.
I don't know who the replacement was, to be honest. I didn't look at that part. All I know is that the guy who got fired sued and won. So, I mean, that's weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
You think you
would do that?
It's weird, like them winning and being correct in every capacity and in the court of law. I mean, that's weird that you'd lie. But speaking of lying for money and attention and fame, let's talk about Meghan McCain.
This is really this is so hard to watch.
This is the wrong video.
Very difficult.
What the fuck? That's strange. Okay, here's Meghan McCain. Google Docs is trolling me. So here's Meghan McCain talking about the synagogue shooting, and listen to the tripe that she opens with.
So sure. So she's just some dumb bitch on The View, right?
Meghan McCain is you might know John McCain, famous father.
Right.
Yes, this is Meghan McCain, who has God,
look at that bio.
What is she
Hashtag fuck cancer. Blonde Republican. Rabble rouser. Ice Queen.
Ice Queen.
No, the cactus besides the American flag.
This bitch is fucking stupid. Alright, let's play the clip. I don't even know how to open this. Just play.
It's church, but that is a real issue.
Yeah, and one that I think that Silicon Valley should have their feet held to the fire. I do think when we're having conversations about anti-Semitism, we should be looking at the most extreme on both sides. And I would bring up Congresswoman Ilhan Omar and some of her comments that got so much attention. And in my opinion, Nancy Pelosi wasn't hard enough in her response to her,
Look at Chris Christie there. Look at fucking Chris Christie, former governor of New Jersey.
Jewish people had hypnotized the world. So I think when you're talking about rhetoric and you want to talk about President Trump, and by the way, I agree that he needs to have his feet held to the fire as well. But we're talking about it on both sides of the aisle as well.
But I think part of this is yes, it occurred at
It does. Is Chris Christie the guy that looks like a potato?
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So for those of you that aren't up to snuff on the Ilhan Omar situation, she said that the Israel lobby, AIPAC, controls the political zeitgeist in the sense that it influences politicians to be overly supportive of like a near fascist apartheid state. So that's what her criticism was. It wasn't Jews are hypnotizing the world with their money. It was a nation state, Israel, committing war crimes and active apartheid and actually killing innocent people for no reason. And then Nancy Pelosi's I love Israel, and Chuck Schumer's if you don't believe in Jewish and you're a Muslim, then you're less than, and we hate Muslims and Palestinians. It's what is wrong with these Democrats? And then you have people like Meghan McCain who are because the right, the Republican, ooh, I'm wearing a suit and tie, I'm Meghan McCain. She's not wearing a suit and tie.
I'm wearing a really, really neon pink shirt.
I'm wearing a neon pink shirt, and I'm gonna neon pink. I don't know, the kind of nice people Republicans just want to deflect and not acknowledge any of the issues on their own side. So what they do is they pinpoint, this has been happening in the UK with Corbyn a lot, where people just call, oh, you criticize Israel, so you hate all Jews, and it's hello? I don't know. The fact that people like Meghan McCain, first of all, exist? Like, what has she done? Said stupid shit on television? Like, she said stupid... I don't know, like, the only reason she is where she is because of John McCain, and he's a terrible person. So it's like, when you're a terrible person, and you literally create more terrible people, and then, like, force us to deal with them, like, honestly, I think Meghan McCain might be John McCain's worst impact on society, because, like, obviously all of his fucking awful, disastrous policies that killed millions of people, but we're gonna have to deal with Meghan McCain for, like, at least another 40 years, right? Like, fuck. I mean, eventually she'll go away, but, like, still, like, this bitch is gonna be alive for a while, and, like, ugh. Imagine equating criticizing Israel with, I'm gonna kill all the Jews! Like,
it's just so strange. It's okay, we're talking about a synagogue shooting, and then let's talk about both sides. What do you mean both sides? Who's targeting synagogue shootings?
Wait, didn't the synagogue shooter express praise for the Christchurch shooter and also said subscribe to PewDiePie? That's definitely a radical leftist who learned their trade from Ilhan Omar.
That was a way to link the shootings together.
Of course.
To kind of like say, I'm backing this, kind of.
Someone who's literally endorsing, like, murdering, like, 50 Muslims definitely got their ideas and manifesto from a Muslim
let's talk about both sides of the world, New Zealand and America. Let's talk about both sides of their ideologies there. Like, what does that mean? Like, what the fuck are they talking about? Like, you're talking about, like people who want to murder others. We're not talking about, like, fucking left right. Like, what does that mean? Like, it's fucking garbage.
I don't know. I just the fact that right wingers have this ability to just, like, deflect everything, and it works. And, like,
I know she brings up Trump.
Yeah, you're gonna see, like, a Jordan Peterson fan out there, and he's going like, "Oh, it's a really good point that Meghan McCain made. Oh, really good ideas."
Like, is this the start of, like, people turning on Trump? Like, yeah, we know he's awful. Like, we need to be more like covert. Like, we can't be that open.
No. It's not Trump is awful. It's Trump made a few mistakes, and
he's made a few mistakes.
He should apologize. He doesn't need to apologize, but I mean, he should. You know what I mean? Like, he should.
And that's the extent of, like, you know, the far right for, like, shooting people in synagogues.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, like, a few mistakes.
Oh, it's just a few mistakes. I don't know. I hate Meghan McCain. I'm going to talk about Meghan McCain more because she's just a disgusting person, and I feel like I can grift, you know? So I'm going to be open.
Can we, like, talk about that, like, color? Like, that's a really bad pink.
I fucking hate Meghan McCain. Like, I don't know what to tell you other than that. She's such a bad person. Such a bad fucking person. Speaking of bad people, huh?
What does she do? What has she done?
She talks.
Why does she have followers?
She said, John McCain, my father.
Okay, but, like, God damn it.
She's fucking... I hate her. So, go into this other segment here. And so I was watching The Young Turks, and they uploaded this video of Cenk Uygur being on C-SPAN and talking to normies. And, you know, you can say whatever you want about the Young Turks. I appreciate their perspective. They're kind of like the mainstream left as far as, like, you know... They dislike police, but they don't say ACAB, you know, all the time. So, like, that kind of stuff.
Not all the time.
So, like, they're the
this one is really bad.
Measured social democrat kind of left, and I think it's important to pay attention to them. They also get on TV a lot, and I really appreciate when these people get on TV. So, like, for example, we have a situation here where he's there's a caller from an independent caller, and honestly, just listen to the call. And watch how Cenk reacts, because, like, this shit's fucking, like, literally.
Go to Line for Independence.
Play?
Colin in Santa Monica, California. Good morning.
Good morning. So I used to be a progressive, and I'll just say it simply. To me, although it's a three-dimensional world, so left and right is ridiculous, but the American eagle has two wings. It needs both a left wing and a right wing to fly, like any bird. And when the right calls the left snowflake, that may be rude, but when the left calls the right racist and sexist...
Pause. Fucking, when the right calls the left snowflakes, that might be rude. This guy's epic.
That's literally not what happens, though. Like,
this guy, this call, I don't know how I've not seen anyone else talk about this, because this call is fucking hilarious. This guy is fucking hilarious, dude. He's a left wing and a right wing to fly. Fly away!
that's like 3 dimensions, right? Birds. Like, what the fuck?
Oh god. Alright, continue. Play.
Pushing away a lot of people, and I'd be curious, and there's lots of examples of it. So I think there's a silent majority as much as your guest is excited, and I applaud his work in a lot of ways. I think there's a silent majority of people who've been silenced by the bullies coming out of the left, and I'd like to hear him have a calmly respond in an effort to give his side credibility.
So, okay. This is the trap that centrists love to play. It's like if a left-winger has any emotion, like any passion, cares about what they're saying in any capacity, they're triggered. They're out of control, they're angry, they gotta calm down and be civil. When a right-winger, screams, Jews will not replace us, and walks through and murders people.
They calmly murder people.
Yeah,
they calmly scream it.
I might be a little
rude. And that's okay, because they're not being rude, they're just calmly expressing ideas and opinions.
But yeah, so keep in mind, this is on, C-SPAN, and the people that watch C-SPAN are, political, people that follow politics. I mean, a lot of them are probably old and dumb. I mean, this guy's definitely dumb. He doesn't sound too old, but he's definitely dumb. So, it's a norm.
I used to be a progressive.
I used to be a progressive, man. And then, I looked at a bird and I was like... I was like, man, the eagle's, so good, man. Hell yeah, dude. Left and right, man. Anyway, let's listen to see how Jank responds, because this shit's it's really good.
And not push more people away. He's thrown out a lot of passionate comments today, but not backed it up with a lot of facts.
That's totally not true. I backed up every single thing I said with facts. Okay, so...
Immediately goes in.
Right wing invented identity politics. First of all, it's called slavery. It's not like black people decided, hey, you know what? We think we'll have an advantage by calling people racist 200 years from now, so let's sign up for slavery. That is not what happened. What happened was white people imprisoned, slaved, lynched, killed, murdered, raped black people in this country. Now, am I saying that you're responsible for that sitting at home in Nebraska somewhere? No, we're not saying that. What we're saying is acknowledge that history, acknowledge that slavery was...
Pause. It's California? This guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Fucking facts. I don't care about your feelings, dude. He lives in California.
I hate him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's not listening.
He's not
intolerant leftist.
Yeah, he's just fucking going off his fucking NPC chain now.
Just giving his talking points. Nothing he's saying is accurate. Slavery happened 200 years ago. Alright, play.
Politics. Jim Crow was identity politics. Discrimination was identity politics. And it's the white right wing that has been playing that game. So does that mean you should blame all white people? Of course not. And it doesn't mean you should blame them now. But you should acknowledge where all of this came from. So when Black Lives Matter says, could you please not shoot unarmed black men? That's not playing identity politics. Shooting black men at a disproportionate rate, that's identity politics, and that actually gets people killed. Look, white people and black people smoke marijuana at about the same rate. Black people are imprisoned at 4 times the rate. 4 times the rate. That's identity politics. that robs them of their freedom, their liberty, destroys their lives. And
Is that 2 American flags in the background?
Would you not arrest us at 4 times the rate?
Yeah.
Then
2? Why 2?
I can't believe they're playing identity politics. Stop putting them in prison unjustly. That's the identity politics. Look, the Republican Party did the Southern strategy, where their whole point was to go get racists in the South, to turn from the Democratic Party to the Republicans and vote for them. The 2 different heads of the RNC have apologized for the Southern strategy because it's real and its intent was racist. So when you build an entire political party on identity politics and white supremacy, don't be surprised when people push back and go, well, I'm not a white right-winger, so I'm not interested in that party because you seem to dislike people that are of my hue, race, religion, etc. And then, ironically, because conservatives love to be victims, that's their favorite thing. Oh my God, can you believe it? Somebody said Happy Holidays to me instead of Merry Christmas. You want to talk about a snowflake? I mean, that's as big a snowflake as you could possibly imagine. So when we say, can you please stop being so unfair to minorities in the country, they go, oh, now I'm the victim. You're playing identity politics. I was having fun institutionally discriminating against you all these years, and now you're going to ruin it by saying I should stop discriminating.
Fucking ruined
I
it.
can't believe you're doing identity politics. I don't accept that. It's just not true.
Newport, North Carolina.
All right, Slay, that was good, because like anyone can do that, but like I appreciate like Jank specifically doing this kind of stuff because like for example, if I hear that, like my response is literally like, this guy's a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? But like that was a really good explanation, especially for public television, of like how hypocritical and dumb and ahistorical conservatives and centrists are, because centrists are just conservatives who are too dumb to realize it. So it's like I find that really, really fucking funny. And like that response was just brilliant. Like for public television, that response was brilliant. What do you have to say?
I have to say that guy woke up at 5:30 in the morning to make that call.
Maybe he stayed up. Hey man, Jake's gonna be on the C-SPAN later, dude.
Wings, Eagles.
Something about the Eagles, man. I'm gonna go to the Eagles, man.
He just like that guy just like squirms and just like gets like just like goes everywhere. Just it's like
the best part about this clip is that it literally is like I feel like that question had to be fake because like it was so perfect. He did like all the tropes, like, you know, Snowflake might be rude, but like at least we're not being called racists. You know, left and right need bothful man, and it's like every single trope, and then like Jenk just immediately just like destroys them with facts and logic. Like
was this a false flag?
This is a false flag. That like there is no way that this guy can be so perfectly dumb. Like that's the thing, is like a lot of centrists, like when I do the centrists mockery, a lot of centrists will be like, there's a lot of noise coming on. We're almost done. A lot of centrists will be like, you know, oh, I don't do that, or you know, slight variations in the mockery, and that's all well and good. You know, people are unique.
I just think we should both pay attention to the extremes, both sides of the eagle, perhaps.
Eagle. But this guy was like a perfect imitation of himself, and I appreciate that, and that was a good answer. And we have one last thing that we're going to talk about here on the subject of good answers. So some stupid jackass here, and I'm just gonna play the video automatically on mute. Some stupid jackass here was in New York City talking about stupid shit, and this happens.
So that's a Nazi flag, right? Like
that is a literal swastika. Some guy throws eggs at him. It's so good. It's so good. And then immediately gets back.
He just gets angry. He drops the Nazi flag and runs at him. Someone else should have grabbed the Nazi flag.
They did. In the extended clip, someone else gets the flag and runs
Yes! Oh my god.
So they just fuck with this guy, and I love it. So I've actually seen this guy before. I've actually had a conversation with this motherfucker.
And he wore a stupider scarf when you saw him too.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy came to the White House at some point, and I was there, and we had I asked him what his favorite Muppet was, and he was telling me that he didn't know much about the Muppets, and then he said, "Oh, I know Kermit because he's like Jordan Peterson."
Did he actually say that?
This fucking guy.
And then, if I could master any impression, it would be the Kermit the Frog, like Jordan Peterson impression. It's just so funny. It's just so funny.
Really fucking funny. I gotta work on that one, honestly. And then I asked him what his favorite PlayStation 1 game was, and he couldn't give me an answer. So, what's going on? Is someone robbing your house?
I think so.
Are you okay? Should we call an emergency line?